This is what I'll be filtering. Notice not too many floaties. Good morning. It did get pretty cold last night and the ice got thick. But notice there's a lot of ice on this rag already, but if I run across again, a lot of it actually falls off onto the floor. So I actually wait till I put away the sleeping bag and everything before I do it. And I try to get as much off as I can, because if you don't get it off, you're going to be carrying it in your backpack, and when you set up the tent, it'll all be melted and all over the place later. So it's good to get as much of it off as you can. This is where my tent was. You can tell where I was laying because it's flattened. But this is the first time ever before I left camp that the sun has been shining at the same spot. I contemplated just leaving this tent standing up there for a while and let it dry out completely. But it's already a late start as it is, and this will be my third day with a kind of later start. And I'm pretty much ready to go. I'm not going to wear a rain jacket today. It's actually mostly climb, so it's going to be warming me up. The sun's out, not a cloud in the sky, and it's cold, but I think I'm going to get warmed up pretty quickly, so I think it'll be all right. No rain jacket. Hands are cold though, so I'm going to wear gloves. Fingers are already cold, so all right, let's get on trail. And I think we have about 3,500 feet climb all together today. Big one in the beginning, but we're going to get up in the 5,000, 6,000s again. I'm just worried that we're going to hit snow again, and it's just going to be non-stop snow, but maybe by the time we get up there, which will be like a few hours, the sun will get rid of some of the snow on the trail portions anyway. We'll just hope. And then I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to camp tonight either. That's a catch. I don't know. Somewhere near water. It's like 24 miles to town. I got to find some place with water. All the water sources coming up sound really bad. Like they're all little ponds for cows. It's full of paddies, and it's like you have to walk kind of in the mud to get to it because it's so shallow. That's always tough. So I don't know what we're gonna do. See you on the trail. Well, goodbye camp. This will be the last time I'll be camping at such a low elevation for a long time. It's actually starting to get warm. We'll see if we ever feel like this again until the Grand Canyon, until we get to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, because it's going to be cold, I think, from now on. From now on, it's been cold every time. All right, let's get out of here. So to get to camp, I'm on the Arizona Trail now. I saw this opening in the barbed wire. There's a barbed wire fence. So I squeezed through there because, I mean, it looks kind of like a trail. But there are just thorny trees there. Those Palo Verde thorns. So, but that's not it. You don't have to take it. Just a little up the trail, you can actually see a brown dirt turnoff and a cairn. And that goes right down to it, and you don't have to fight any thorns. So don't risk getting your eyes poked out. Just take this. Oddly enough, just a little past there, there's actually an official Polk Springs sign and a little gateway. That's weird, considering that other path is much better. The other one has a lot more cow prints, so I'm sure cows take this one. This one, I don't know what this is for. Weird. Polk Spring though, that's where we were at. So right out of the campground, we went up like 500 feet, 600 feet, really steep. But ever since then, we've been kind of on this meadow, but the trail is ripped up. I think it would be a super fast trail, except horses and elk have just torn up this trail. So it's really uneven. With trekking poles, I can go okay pace, but super uneven. Yeah, you can tell some are horses and some are elk, but they have really torn up the trail. they shouldn't walk here when it's so muddy. Right now it's not that muddy, it's soft, but they must have walked down here in the last couple days. Someone please tell the elk to stay off the trail when it's muddy. It's funny, the horse prints are gone, but now it's all elk. You see that big divot and another huge divot and another huge divot. They left little potholes everywhere. Wait a minute, I think these are cow actually. They're too big and they're too pointy at the front or too round, I think. I'll have to look it up. At mile 440.8, there's looks like a man-made pond of some sort that is incredibly dry. In fact, it looks incredibly muddy. Like even if there's water out there and you stepped out there, you're gonna sink and die. I would not walk out there. Now these are some old makeshift fences. We got branches holding up other branches. It's just insanity. Coil of barbed wire on top. I don't know. And then we got a juxtaposition of this guy. Yeah, I'm just imagining being the trail crew where you got to collect all these rocks from all around here and toss them in here. Fun. Sounds like something you do in the Marine Corps. All right, where's the trail? There we go. So this thick mud has become a nuisance again. It's not the weight right now anymore. It's just the way the mud collects on the feet. It makes your feet strike each step a little differently. For me, the heel is getting higher and higher, so it's making the heel hit way too early, put more stress on the tendon in the front of the foot. So I'm constantly having to scrape that mud off, but it's pretty hard mud too. It's harder to scrape off than the soft stuff, but at least it doesn't accumulate as much as the other stuff, so it's not weighing me down. It just, I have to keep scraping the mud off, because otherwise the feet and the tendons are just not gonna make it. So it's kind of annoying, but yeah, it's slowing me down. And what's funny is every now and then you see rocks and you can tell someone else scraped mud off their shoe. There's probably at least 2 people in front of me somewhere, but still going, but we'll see. I'll actually look forward to the climb, because at least with the climb we'll be on the ball of the foot the whole time, because you're going up really steep. As I was saying, this is not me. Somebody had a lot of mud on their shoes. Fence at mile 441.6. I hate you. It must have taken me a minute to get the thing on top, strapped in. I don't know how, like, smaller, especially like ladies, will be able to handle this thing. This thing is horrible. I hate these fences. Look at all these juniper berries. They look so delicious, don't they? They're everywhere. They're plump, white. They look so delicious. And look how nice that looks. Oh, they're hard. Is this the trail? Can you answer that? Do you see anything that looks like it's a trail? Besides a huge pile of rocks, like way up there, it just field of rocks. Actually, it looks like a slight dirt path right here. Just a whole lot of boulders. Whew. It's quite interesting seeing how much like volcanic rock there was before here, and along here. It's always fascinating thinking that Arizona and New Mexico were volcanic hotspots, you know, millions of years ago. Now it's quite dormant, but hey, Polk Spring was warm, so it must be part geothermal, right? All right, let's get up this thing. As I go up this trail, I see cairn after cairn. It's the only real way to know where the trail is. But I have to keep reminding myself, like, stop following cow tracks. You get so used to following footprints at all that, I don't know, for a while I was like, oh, cow tracks, and I've just been following them. I remember up in the snow, anytime I saw rabbits hopping along the trail, I was so happy to be following tracks. And then sad when the rabbit tracks went off the side. But it's like, sometimes you see footprints You just want to zone out and just follow the prints. But you can't do that so much here. And I don't really want to go where the cows go. Unless they're going to water. Look at this. Look at this. You scrape it off. 2 minutes later, it's like this. You just can't walk. I'm going like 1 mile an hour. Oh my gosh. Right now I'm 1.2 miles away from the water source where I was going to take a break. I'm just so tired and exhausted. The mud is just killer. It just slows you down and it just makes you expend so much energy. I found the other downside is you have so much mud on your feet. You step on some rocks and you just slide right off. So you can't even step on any rocks unless you know you don't have that mud on there. I've actually gotten dizzy a couple times until I ate more gummy bears. Because I'm just running low on energy. I think it just sapped it out of me pretty quickly. That mud is tough. But 1.2 more miles. I think I'm going to push on. I'm going to eat another bar. I already ate 2 Snickers bar for the morning. I'm going to eat another bar and a Laro bar. And hopefully that gets me to the water source. And I'm going to eat the bag of cookies I had laid off for lunch for today. But I'm going to dig into my food bag and just pull out everything else. Macadamia nuts. I'm just going to eat a whole bunch more during the break. Hopefully it helps the rest of the day. To avoid stepping in the mud, I've been rock hopping. I have found that they both expend just as much energy. But I'm a little faster just hopping from rock to rock because you gotta like lunge here and there. Whereas the mud, it just drags you down and goes slowly. But I kind of like the rocks now. Yeah. So what I'm doing now, instead of through hiking, is playing The Mud is Lava. And you have to step on stone after stone. So what you have to do is get your feet clean first, because if there's mud on it, you're going to slip off these rocks. And you just hop from rock to rock. That's pretty much it. Don't step in the mud. There's the next Karen. Shoes aren't the only things that are grabbing mud. I was just saying in my head, humans should never be forced to walk on this road. Look at, you can actually see the rainwater or the snow melt sitting on top because it couldn't soak it anymore. If you try to walk in it, it is so slippery. You just wind up losing control over and over. So I'm walking in the bushes. I know, leave no trace and all, but you just can't walk in there. It's impossible. It's so muddy and slippery. I'm at the Saddle Ridge pasture tank at mile 448.8, and that pool down there does not look good. You have to get down pretty far in the mud. Fortunately, there are other pools here surrounded by mud. Nothing looks super good. There's actually like a little flow coming from over there, probably where the snow melted and pulled in over there. I do need water. Looks like the good bet right now. Grabbing a scoop. I just have to try to be careful not to fall in via the mud. It does look like someone did this so we don't have to go down to the middle to collect water. But I'm gonna check up stream a little. All right, this doesn't look that much better. But it looks deep enough to scoop out of, and it looks like I can stand next to it and not fall in. Now I just have to find a dry spot to put my bag while I scoop, and it looks like I'm gonna have to pre-filter after every liter. That's not pretty. I guess the ranchers leave out salt licks for the cows, so they get some electrolytes in them besides just water. But I see cow poop, could be horse poop, I see elk poop, all manner of poop here. This is what I'll be filtering. Notice not too many floaties itself, but super brown water. Yep, not the best water source. Sorry I didn't film the back flush. It was pretty much mud brown. I didn't want to set up the tripod and everything because everything just horse or cow poop and mud everywhere. Now I'm gonna try to get back to the trail. And I mean, the old mud path. I see we're going up in the same kind of terrain for 5 more miles. If it's gonna be like this for 5 more miles, it's gonna take me till 6 o'clock. It's almost 2 already. I'll be well short of what I had intentioned. It's kind of a bummer. I was gonna go 8.6 more miles today. There's another water source like this in 6 miles water source. I'm pretty sure I can make it 6 miles. I don't have enough water to dry camp, so I'd have to swing by a water source. But 8.6, I don't know if I can do it. It's already 2:22. 1.5 miles an hour. It's gonna take about 6 hours. It would be 8 o'clock if I'm faster. If this train doesn't change. I sure hope it does, but we'll see. Look at that. This is actually on the trail. This is actually clearer than where I got water. It's actually definitely clearer and less things floating on top. I could have totally gotten water here before. Oh well. And the trail continues. Yes, Pine Trail has 12 miles. Still got 12 miles. Utah's 349. And there's water. I'm gonna drink a whole liter. I didn't filter that much last time. I'm just gonna drink 2 or 1 liter, yeah. Thank you, whoever left this here. It is quite wonderful, so clear looking. This looks like heaven to me. It actually looks like a well-maintained forest road. Oh my gosh, it's not muddy at all. Once I scrape all this mud off my shoes, maybe I'll actually be able to make some good time. Let's check out my shoes now, shall we? Yeah, I think they weigh like 3 times as much as they used to. Oh man. Let's scrape it off and make some time. All right, my shoes feel better, and just verify that this is the AZT before I gun it. But unfortunately, it looks like at 1.2 miles, we turn onto a power line road, which to me sounds like it's going to be just like the road we just got off. But 1.2 miles, let's make this one really quick, knock it out. Well, I made it 20 minutes, 1.2 miles. That's pretty good. That's about 3.6 miles an hour. A hiker actually just got picked up here. There was a Jeep. Some lady picked him up, I guess, because he said he's had enough and he's gonna go to Strawberry. And he said the road that I was on, if you keep going, it just goes into Strawberry, and it does. And then he said this road is really rough, but once you're off the road, it's fine. But the road is 2.6 miles. My only saving grace, or I'll say the thing that makes me happy, is up ahead I see a lot of rocks, lots of rocks. That means less mud. I would much rather deal with rocks than mud. So here we go. Just see how far we can go, and hopefully we can find a dry spot to set up camp sometime by 7, because I'm not going to make it to any place I thought I was going to make it to. You can actually see steps of the one guy. He tried to walk down the middle, and you see how many times he slid off the side? Because it's way too muddy and it's way too high. That's why. Yep, I'm doing it again. Over here, it seems like cows are very smart. I see cow prints out here going parallel with the road. They know not to take the road because it's horrible right now. So at least there's traction here. This is a moment of truth. He told me that once you get off this road, the trail is awesome. Was he joking with me? Was he being sarcastic? But he said this road was rough. So I think he was genuine. So the turnoff is coming up. Am I gonna be a happy Jay or grumpy Jay? Well, it looks the same. Doesn't look any different. Feels slightly muddy. Oh man, it looks the same. I thought I'd be making more time, better time after this. I'm really starting to get worried. I don't think I'm gonna find a non-muddy campsite. I think the best time I get is try to find big patches of grass. I don't know. Everything is muddy up here because of that snow. I might have to keep hiking till 7. Even where I was thinking about going might be all muddy. I don't know. Another gate that has seen its years. Oh, I hate when they use barbed wire for the top part. I'm at a place called East Tank, and I kind of went the wrong way looking for the AZT, but I see these here. Oh my gosh. I would skip on that. That looks really thick, not even like water. Oh. The pond itself, though, is actually pretty full. It's got tons of stuff floating on it, but it's way more full than the one I was at earlier. Looks like easier access, but it looks pretty dirty. And there's another spot a couple miles up, I think, where I'm supposed to get water, so I'll just keep heading that way. I think I could dry camp. I think I have enough to dry camp. But I'm really thirsty, and it will not be a fun dry camp. Here's the first place I contemplated staying. I got 1.3 miles to the other one, 700 feet down, but they said there were a lot of campsites here, but they're all flooded, except way back, but that's going to be just as muddy. So I'm going to go down 1.3 miles, 700 feet down, pretty steep. But I'm hoping that 700 feet further down that it didn't snow as much and the ground is drier. But I'm going to keep looking side to side. If I see anything that looks really dry, though, I'm just going to take it. Like, oop, sliding in the mud. This spot looks remarkably dry-ish. There are stuff in the way, but I think I could work with it. Yeah, more spots over here, but they're just all wet. They're all wet, and bigger rocks too. I think I'm gonna hunker down. I really think I can make this work, and it's dry enough. And there are rocks far enough away I could scrape my shoes. There's a lot of debris and stuff, but I think there's enough of a spot that I can lay flat, and I'll be okay. The other choice is going down 1.2 miles, and who knows what the campsites there will be like. It could just be all muddy there as well, so I think I'm going to take it. I think it'll work. I just did the pokey test where I just touched everything to make sure no branches or anything would poke up. And if I put my head here, I should be pretty level. Slight angle to the left. The left side drops more than the right. Maybe I'll put my head on that side, but it should work. Not super bad. There's my bag. I'm going to go inside, and I have decided on that side is the head. I'm so tired. Yeah, today was supposed to be one of the easier days since I left Payson, but it didn't work out that way. The first day was the first encounter with all this sticky mud, where it just spills on the bottom of your shoes. And it was a big climb the first day, so I knew that. And then that was tougher. But the second day, I knew just a lot of elevation change. And that was tougher. That was tougher because of elevation change and some snow. And then we had some of the sketchy spots, I guess. But the third day, though, after all that snow the second night, it was, I don't know, the second and third day was just all snow. It's crazy. And then today, there wasn't any snow, but it was just nonstop mud. It's like we started to climb, and then after a little bit, we got to the point where the snow was melting, and it was just muddy for 8 miles, and then I had 1.2, and then it was just muddy since then. And it's going to be muddy for a while down. I'm half tempted to try to take a Zero in Pine. I know one of the patrons lives around there, but it just, I think tomorrow morning it just can be, actually tomorrow it'll dry out a little bit during the day. The next day, you know, you would wish it would be drier, but we're going to go a little higher. I don't know. I'm going to have to think things over for quite a bit. Just hiking in the mud just drains your energy so much, and my feet are so tired because there's no place to sit. And constantly rubbing mud off your feet, it just kind of wears on your, not on your feet as well, on the feet as well, but as well as the tendons and the muscles to do it, just because you're constantly doing it and your body's not used to it. So it's a new thing. So I don't know. I'm gonna head inside the tent now and eat everything. I'm going to Pine tomorrow anyway, so maybe I'll leave a couple of Snickers bars. I don't think I've ever had mud this high on my trekking poles. It's about halfway up. It is just really kicked in there. I don't know how you'd even wash this. Like, you can't do it in any kind of tub. You'd have to do it outside with a hose, I think. I hope the Trail Angel has something like that I could rinse these off. Well, the day's at an end, folks. It was an exhausting day. The mud is no joke. It was pretty much walking on mud 90% of the day. And we still have some more mud to go. We have 5 more miles to Pine until tomorrow. I'll get to Pine and edit and upload a bunch of videos. And then it's a huge push to Flagstaff after that. But yeah, for now, though, I spent so much energy fighting that mud. It's exhausted. So y'all have a good night, and I hope you enjoyed some of the mud footage. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.